Okay, now that I've finished humming and hawing about how much hair needs to go in the front and the back, I'm going to bring forth the sacrilege, which is this aloe vera gel that I got off the internet. I did start off by really thoroughly massaging it in my hair, doing some finger combing, finger detangling to just really incorporate it in there. And it is coating the hair quite nicely. I am really motor mouthing through this. I'm trying to say that I'm sorry. Welcome back, friends, or if you're new here, just welcome. It is Lauren the Soap Witch, and I am about to pre-poo my hair. This is what I am starting out with, my refresh from last week, where I did a puff, slick back, but I just slept all over it, so maybe it ain't so slick no more. And the front was actually 2 twists where I just took down, and the twist out look would have stayed nicer if I wouldn't have slept all over it. Let's not even talk about the humidity. Okay, moving right along. So I'm going to take my hair down, and I just want to inform you that I'm about to complete absolute hypocrisy, sacrilege, and everything else according to the hair care world with this pre-poo. But I'm going to do it anyway. But first I'm going to untangle my hair from this puff cuff. The puff cuff, it's brilliant. So first I'm going to spray my hair with a lot of water. As soon as I get the water to come out, I don't know why, but it's just defiant every week, y'all, every single week. But I want to definitely wet this hair up because it's covered in gel and it was quite firm. So I'm just wetting that up to loosen that up, and then I'm going to part it down the middle once I get that loosened up the way I need it to be. I'm going to part it down the middle because I like to do my pre-poo in 4 sections, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. So now that I've gotten that parted in half, I'm just going to take that section and put it up and out of the way. And now with this other side, I'm going to wet this hair down a little bit more just to make it easier to separate. The hair is dry. I'm not trying to break it all to smithereens. You know what I'm saying. So just rub that water through the hair, and then I'm just going to take my hands and split it until I feel like I have equal amount of hair or close to that in the front and back. And I'm going to put the back away as well. I don't know why I say away. It's not going anywhere, but out of the way. That's what I mean. You know what I meant. Okay, now that I've finished humming and hawing about how much hair needs to go in the front and the back, I'm going to bring forth the sacrilege, which is this aloe vera gel that I got off the internet. Why is it sacrilege? Well, everyone will tell you, okay, that you make your own aloe vera gel from the actual aloe vera plant, and everybody prefers it that way. It's pure, it's cheaper, and it's very slick and slimy, which is actually a good thing when it comes to a pre-poo because it helps people to detangle. But I'm gonna just tell you that I ain't feel like doing all that. And so I had seen on the internet where one lady actually did do hers with store-bought aloe vera. I checked and rechecked and found this particular one where it is pure aloe vera and the only other ingredient was glycerin, vegetable glycerin. And I was like, we're gonna give that a try. Okay, I'm trying this also because when I looked at her video, she said that she actually liked the way both of them made her hair feel. One of them just did obviously have more slip, and of course one has an additional cost. So you saw me wet my hair, and I definitely wet it down far more than I usually do with any other pre-poo because I wanted to help make my hair more saturated, more malleable, etc. So I'm just rubbing that into my hair with my fingers to prepare to add this aloe vera gel. I even added some more because I didn't feel like the first helping was enough. It still ain't saturated like I'm going to shampoo my hair, but it's definitely wetter than it would be if I was just adding like oil or conditioner. So here we go with the sacrilege. I mean, come for me if you want to. It's okay. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed. So that's how much I'm starting out. No, I'm gonna add a little more. I lied to you. I'm not trying to be a liar. I'm sorry. Okay, that's how much I'm going to start out with. And I rubbed it in between my hands just to make it easier to apply to my hair. I thought I'd give it a sniff, but it really didn't smell like anything. And when I looked at it on the online, It did say that it could be used on hair, and some people said they did use it on hair. I didn't really remember what applications they used it on their hair, but it is safe to use on hair. So, moving on. I just try not to drop it everywhere because you know I'm prone to doing that. But I put this amount on the bottom and the other amount on the top, and really wanted to make sure my hair was thoroughly saturated, because that was part of the success the other lady had when I watched her video, was that she used a lot. So I'm just thoroughly rubbing that in from basically roots to ends, starting off with a little bit of finger detangle. To be honest, finger detangling with this is probably where I would be satisfied at. I am going to go in with my brush, which was okay. It definitely does not have near the slip as when you make this from the actual leaf yourself or a conditioner, but it worked out okay with the brush, which you'll see in a bit. But I did start off by really thoroughly massaging it in my hair, doing some finger combing, finger detangling to just really incorporate it in there. And it is coating the hair quite nicely. I am really motor mouthing through this. I'm trying to say that I'm sorry. I did decide to go on top with Acute Anointing Hair Oil. Several other people, even with the version that you make yourself from the actual plant, do add an oil on top. I don't know if they mix it in, but they definitely combine an oil with it and put it on top. So I was like, why not? I like to add oils in with my pre-poos anyway. So I just dumped some of that on there. Not a ton. If we go and buy monies, maybe a half a dollar size. I don't know. So once I was happy with the way I incorporated in there, I went in there with the brush, started on the ends and worked my way up with the detangling. It wasn't the worst girl, what do you even words use them? Okay, it wasn't the worst detangling experience ever. Definitely not the best. I mean, it surely didn't have the slip that my conditioners have, shameless plug, but with the brush especially, it made do. I was able to work the brush through my hair. That's one of the things that people like about the DIY aloe vera gel version. When you make it yourself, it definitely has incredible slip because of the slimy nature of it. This doesn't have that good of a slip, but with the brush I was able to make do, and the fact that my hair was quite saturated. So there was a method to my madness. I did go ahead and detangle just because I wanted to see if I could. The other lady also did detangle her hair as well. She used like a wide tooth comb, I believe. It was a pick or a wide tooth comb. So basically same effect, and she was also able to detangle her hair with it, which is the only reason that I even attempted it. So now that I've gotten that all detangled and such, I just went in and did my usual Bantu knot because I am a creature of habit, and I just like the way that it gets my hair out of the way. It sits up under any caps that I like to put on top of my hair after the pre-poo process. So on to the back section. I like to show the front and the back because the back usually needs a little bit more help being detangled, because my back, well, the back of my hair, I should say, it sounds like, okay. The back of my hair tends to be far more tangly than the front. A lot of it just because I sleep on that area. We got that kitchen happening, y'all, you know. So for me, that hair is more tangly. So I just like to show the front and back just to see how much of a difference there is, if there's much of a difference. So I'm definitely getting that hair nice and saturated. Again, not the way I do in the shower when I'm getting ready to wash or deep condition, but I wanted to have plenty of hydration before I add my aloe vera. Okay, so here's how much I'm going to start with in the back. Again, just rubbing it in between my hands to help me distribute it better. Then I start at the roots and just apply maybe halfway-ish down, rubbing it in with my hands, trying to make sure I get it all throughout the hair. Then I'm going in for my second round, whatever, that I almost threw on the floor. Actually, it's the counter, but whatever. And then adding that to the bottom. And then just going in and massaging it all through the hair, making sure I don't miss my ends. I did not highlight that when I did the front, but I am absolutely making sure that I get all of the hair from roots to ends, especially taking care that the ends get good coverage. They are the oldest hair and therefore tend to be the driest and more brittle and more prone to breakage. So I try to be gentle with them, but make sure they get all the love and care that they need so I can retain this length. All right, going in with the oil again, Acute Anointing. You could use any oil you wanted, really. But I already got perfectly good oil right there, so I'm just going to use it. But you can use your favorite oil and just put it right on top. Well, I look around lost. Girl, what are you doing? Anyway, just taking a healthy amount and just plopping it on there, massaging it in with my fingers. And starting off with a good finger detangle. And really a finger detangle probably could have been all I needed with this. It would have sufficed. Even though I'm not the biggest fan of finger detangling because I just don't feel like I'm that great at it. But if you are, you could just stop right there. Now I'm going with my unbrush and do a little detangling. Not a little, just detangling. I don't know why I said little. And I did kind of attempt to do some smaller pieces, smaller parts, just because I know this doesn't have as much slip. It still did an okay job. And all over these internet, y'all, I see a lot of people talking about how difficult it is to care for type 4 hair. And I just find that fascinating because I honestly have never felt that way. It could just be what people prioritize, what people want to spend their time on. And it's your right to prioritize and want to spend the time on the things that you want. But I've always considered my hair care, what do I consider? A self-care. That's it. Okay, get your mouth together. I've always considered it part of my self-care. It's part of my body, it's part of myself, and I want to take care of it and love on it the way I do everything else. And so to me, it was always a joy to spend time taking care of my hair, figuring out what she needs, how to work with my texture, not against it, how to do things that make sense for it and not turn it into something else. I feel like a lot of people kind of fall into those traps, and that's why they feel like hair is so difficult. But I've watched plenty of hair types, 1 all the way through 4C, do their hair and their routines, and their hair really isn't that much easier than ours. Their routines are different. Some of them wash their hair every day. Can you imagine washing their hair every day and blow drying and all that? That's a lot of work. And I just do mine once a week because I find that it makes my hair, it doesn't really change the texture per se. I'm still 4B with the zigzag, pattern, but it definitely makes my hair much more malleable, easier to maintain, less tangly, more moisturized. Anyway, that's what works for me. At the end of the day, you find what works for you, and it could really just be a breeze, or as close to it as possible. I definitely do not spend 17 hours on wash day. But I do enjoy it because it's a part of self-care for me. So just food for thought. I just okay, try again. Thought I would throw that out there because I do see a lot of people just kind of complaining, and it's your right to vent about whatever things ail you. But I feel like once you find what works for you, it's a lot easier than we make it out to be, as are most things. Here I'm just going to take a tiny bit of oil that I put on my fingers and rub it at my hairline, that disappear and reappearing hairline I be talking about. I just feel like it helps with that. It makes me feel better. I can sleep at night. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the other side. All right, so we all done. Got everything all pre-pooed and packed away. And now I'm going to put this clear plastic shower cap on my head and let it sit for about 30 minutes. So that's how much I use, about half the bottle or maybe a smidge more. I meant to show you that at the end of the first half, but I forgot. Anyway, so I'm just going to take all this hair down and see what I got. So to be honest, I don't know what it's like with the version that you make yourself, the DIY version. But the lady in the video that I watched previously said she liked the way her hair felt with both, and she almost couldn't tell a difference. There was just a few, it made detangling easier with one, and of course there's a cost difference with them. But overall, I liked how my hair felt after this pre-poo. My hair felt nice and soft when I was done and when I rinsed it out. And so I really can't say I have any complaints, and I would do it again with this particular product. And I'll link it below along with the hair oil that I use if you're interested in checking out what I use today. And for people that do want to make their hair care routine easier and more manageable, I do also offer a hair journal that I will link below as well. It's a digital hair journal you can just download and use at your discretion. Anywho, that's pretty much it for this one. I'm just going to give you a spin around so you can just see the 360 of what the hair looks like. But I actually, for the most part, enjoyed this. And like I said, I would definitely do it again. If you got some out of this, found it helpful or even entertaining, please feel free to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. And also give this video a like because it helps my little videos do a little better in the algorithm. And with that being said, I will see you in the next one. Bye.